Hey guys, welcome and thank you for tuning in. You're watching Open Studio here in Cape Town TV. My name is Danny Kambo, and yes, it's Women's Month. I've got two lovely women with me in studio, working together to make a difference. All right, and they're from two different organizations, but running the same campaign called She Conquers. All right, so we're gonna get into more details about this campaign, but before we do, I just want to welcome you guys to the show. So,
Thank you for having us.
oh, you're welcome. So for those that's watching you guys for the first time, looking at your beautiful smiles, can you just introduce yourselves?
All right, so I'm Pamela Mangai. I'm from Soul City Institute. I'm the Provincial Program Officer for the Rise Young Women's Program, as well as the Soul Buddies Program.
Okay. And
Hi,
yourself?
Luleka Thabo. I work for Love Life as a programs coordinator, focusing in two districts, which is the Khayelitsha and the Klipfontein.
Okay.
And we also work together with Soul City as a partner when it comes to different campaigns, and one of those campaigns is the She Conquers campaign that you were talking about.
Okay, awesome. So before we get to speak about the campaign, let's just understand this organization a little bit more, starting with Soul City. Can you tell us a little bit more about the organization in particular?
Okay. So Soul City was originally known as a TV series. So it
Okay.
started back in 1992. What a lot of people did not know or weren't aware of, that it was actually a health and development communications institute. So it then over the years came through and did a lot of advocacy, especially with mass media. That's where then you have your Soul Buddies. But Soul Buddies started with a TV series as well. Soul City also had its TV series, so it played on another TV channel. So that's where these particular programs came from. However, Rise Young Women is a bit younger compared to the Soul Buddies program.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where we started.
Okay, and how long is the organization running now?
It's been running since 1992.
Since 1992.
Yes.
Wow, it's still going. and yourself, can you tell us a little bit more about your organization?
Okay, we are a bit younger than Soul City. We started in 1999.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you would remember, we had also a program called Istamdo Groundbreakers. Those are implementers which we still carried over into the existing year.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like fundamental, sort of to say. So those are the people that run our programs in the ground. Our focus is HIV prevention,
Yeah.
where other people might say, oh, okay, what about the ones that are already infected with HIV? But we're saying, no, we are not only focusing on HIV, we have drivers of that. So we would be talking youth leadership, we're talking sport, we're talking everything that is youthful, that is a love life. So that's what we do. We work mostly in schools because that's where you find most of our target group, which is the ages of 10 up until 24 years. So mostly we work in schools. You'll find us in facilities such as health facilities, into song centers where there's sport activities happening. So in a nutshell, that's what Love Life is. I took the whole day about the organization.
Yeah, we just had to put it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So how did you two ladies come to work together? Or how did the two organizations come to work together?
Yeah. So I actually met Ululeka through Utemba,
Okay.
who is the manager at Love Life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm new in my role. So just really still finding my feet. However, I've been with the organization since 2016. So with the programs being based in schools and obviously with the age group criteria meeting each other, I felt that it was important because as much as my program offers a platform for young women to kind of voice out their opinions on issues that affect them, it's also important to bring on those partners that are there to give them and share information with regards to these issues that they deal with. So that's how she and I met. We did a HIV intervention just a couple of weeks ago. So that intervention really was focused on just giving out more information on HIV. What is it? How do you get infected? Why is it important for young women to start being aware of their health? So we wanted to promote self-health and
Yeah.
yeah.
And how has this been working out for you so far?
It's been a bomb, diggity. It's been exciting, especially because how we mobilize young people is quite different. So, you know, you learn from how they do things and also they learn on how we do things as well. For instance, with her, she doesn't involve herself with the actual implementation, whereas with my role, I need to model it out for the young people that we recruit into the program. So when it comes to implementing it, so it doesn't matter at whatever hour when she calls me, I don't have to call on someone else. I can actually do it myself where she has to mobilize. So with all the things that we do, as much as we're speaking to the same group and we're saying the same thing, but how we do it, the methodology, it's different, and I'm able to learn from how they do things, and she's able to learn from how Love Life does things. And at the end of the day, we both get what we need from young people.
Oh, wow. And what are these challenges, or what are these awareness that you say that the women speak about?
So, young women deal with gender-based violence, which was mostly our focus within the Western Cape Rise Young Women's program. They deal with teen pregnancy. They deal with HIV infections. So for us, the program was to say, okay, how do you then make a change in your life? How do you make a change in your community as well? And we went into schools, started different clubs. So these girls are a group of 20 with a club unique with its own name, where they discuss this information and then go out there to try and see, you know, are there youth-friendly services that can help them gauge in terms of information. And I think that's where She Conquers also comes in, because She Conquers looks to aid the youth with the resources in terms of unemployment, in terms of HIV and gender-based violence and so forth.
Wow, so I can start to hear how the two of you are benefiting from each other. You know, here we've got the problem and here we've got the solution, you know, and it's a good gel. And now we've got this amazing campaign that we're going to speak about shortly, She Conquers.
Definitely.
So why the name She Conquers? Was it chosen by any of you? Or?
No. We can't take that credit. It wasn't chosen by us. It was from the Department of Health. Each province got an opportunity to name the campaign their own way. And you know, with all the dynamics and the politics within the Western Cape, we really couldn't come up with one. And so we used the one that was given by the National Department of Health, which is She Conquers.
Wow.
So we didn't come up with the name ourselves. She Conquers, a lot of people have been saying, especially males, they've been saying, but this does not speak to us because it says she conquers. It's not a he conquers, you know. But we, like she said, we want to empower young women, and at the same time, the name does not really define the whole program itself, because when we're talking teenage pregnancy, like Upam had mentioned, you don't impregnate yourself, you know, a young man or male, you know, does the deeds.
So
and,
we're gonna
so it's,
We're going to get into that now very shortly. We're just going to take a short break. So when we come back, we're going to speak all about the campaign. All right. So guys, for those of you that's watching at home, I urge you not to go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to continue with our conversation with these two lovely ladies. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're not too late. You're watching Open Studio on Cape Town TV. As I mentioned earlier on, it's Women's Month. I've got two lovely women with me in studio today, and She Conquers campaign is today's topic. All right, if you just missed it, it's two ladies are from Love Life and also Soul City, which are the two organizations working together to make this initiative work. So just to continue on your answer on my previous question, why the name She Conquers?
okay. So why the name She Conquers, which means you overpower whatever circumstance. So we're saying that we're not only focusing on females, but we're focusing on males as well. And with the most vulnerable, when I say we, I'm saying females. We're the most vulnerable and we are more exposed to all these social ills. And we're not saying young men are not exposed. And we are just saying, help us, help these young women. Because at the end of the day, the reality is that you get into a health facility, you will find 99.9% of the clients, because they call them clients, they don't call them patients, it's females, you know. It's females for STIs, it's females for pregnancy, it's females for contraceptives, you know, it's females. And so we're saying to these young men, help us help our sisters out. You know, even now with these abductions, it's females that are being looted, they're being sold into other countries. And that is why now our focus is there. And we're saying we want to empower you so that at the end of the day, you don't expose yourself to such danger because of these factors. Because one, there's a large number of unemployed young people, and in that number there's females as well, and for them they find it easy to just say yes to anything given to them by men or to anything taken from them by men, because at the end of the day it will give them a sense of security, it will give them a finance, maybe this person will be taking me to school and those sort of things. And we're saying if we empower them, we take a lot of those factors away from these young females, and we cannot do it alone. We will have to ask for assistance from all these different departments, and mainly we always urge, we say we are asking all this assistance from males. Now when we say males, we're not asking from someone who's sitting at an office somewhere else. We're saying as a community, what do you do? What is your role in making sure that you empower these young women and these little ones, because we said we start from the ages of 10. And that is why now we have Soul City together with Love Life, and there's a lot of other partners as well that we work with in empowering these young females. And like she said, she listed those factors where we say number of HIV infections are increasing, and we're trying to lower those. Number of young people that are falling pregnant and dropping out of school, it's getting higher every day, and we're trying to make sure that we have programs that speaks to those, and what impact are those programs doing, because at the end of the day you'll have all these programs in place and all these activities, but what is the impact? Is this number decreasing now that you're doing all these things? And so we have all these different partners playing their role. So we'll have the department saying, since this has started, a number has decreased and so and so and so and so, because some of these things we don't have a stats of. So the department from Love Life side, I'm not sure with Soul City, we take it from the City Health, which is the clinics that we are working with, and other clinics it's the CHCs, which is the department. So we take our stats from the departments itself, where they say, since you've involved yourself in these She Conquers campaigns and these activities took place, so and so and so has decreased, you know, because we want to see that impact. As much as we will be having all this fun, because sometimes it's exciting, you see these beautiful colors, you go there for one day and then you don't practice what was given to you on that day. And so we have Soul City with an everyday, you know, program where we say, okay, now you go back to like a primary school, if that is where you attend school, and these are the programs that you go through on a daily basis, and these are the programs that the groundbreaker comes with to make sure that all that was done in that activation is being carried over, so that we are able to see impact.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot
it is
happening,
a lot.
and it's for a good cause. I mean, and are you experiencing and witnessing the same things as she is?
You know, being youth myself, because I'm not that much older, you know, one is affected, you know, and you become even more affected, especially when you're in the field where you work with these young women who are dealing with these challenges. So it's really not easy or an easy field to be in, but it's definitely a field that serves a much bigger purpose. And with the kind of work that we're doing, we aim to reach some kind of impact. So with young women joining these programs, you see a difference, you know what I mean? And that's a good thing. And that's a good thing, yeah.
Wow. Wow. So the campaign now as a whole, what are you guys doing to ensure that males receive this plea of help, or this you know, that you want them to be part of it? What is being done, you know, to get them involved?
Okay, so this month we've had in fact, just last week on Friday, on the 9th of August, we had a Rise Young Women's Health Talk. So we invited the girls, where we invited stakeholders as well, such as your Love Life, TAC, as well as TB Care. And the idea, like I've said earlier on, is to promote healthcare, self-care more importantly. So with Love Life facilitating, we created a platform where there could be a dialogue and engagement. And Sis Nelly from TAC came and spoke with the girls and shared a testimony with living with HIV. So it's those kind of platforms that we create so that kids are more aware of what's going on and the reality of what's happening all around them. And we also availed an opportunity for them to go and test for HIV, you know, and I was particularly surprised that most of them were testing, you know, because I was like, okay, I'm a bit afraid and skeptical whether or not they will test, but I was very proud of that moment because it then means that they are taking action, they are engaging, and they are listening to what we are offering in our programs, you know, and taking charge of their lives.
So what do you want to get out of this program, you know? Because you've mentioned that it is affecting, you know, it is touching lives and it is changing mindsets. So what do you personally want to get out of this?
We want empowered women, you know, women who are going to go out there and say, you know what, enough is enough. Don't touch me there. I don't belong to you. We want women who are informed, you know, what dual protection is when you speak on, you know, safe sex. You know what HIV is, what it stands for. You know, what are the implications? You know what teen pregnancy is. So we really are looking to bring about empowered women.
Wow. And for you, briefly, just before we go into an ad break.
Impact. You know,
There we go. Yeah.
5 years to come, we don't want to see young females that are holding babies, forming a line for Sasa Grant and all these things. We want them to be in schools. We want them to be empowered, like she said. Someone who's able to negotiate, you know, even sex, you need to negotiate safe sex, you know, because someone might not understand why you're asking them to use a condom. And you shouldn't, you know, feel defeated or, you know, pressured into doing things that you don't want to do. We want to empower them, make sure that at the end of the day, we make impact. We don't want them pregnant. We don't want them running around. We want them to also create opportunities for, because we're saying we want jobs, but at the end of the day, the reality is that, you know, it's not there.
Okay, we're gonna take another break. Woman empowerment is what we are talking about here. So if you are watching, guys, I urge you not to go anywhere. Stay tuned. We continue our conversation after the break. Hey guys, welcome to it. If you just tuned in, you're not too late. You're watching Open Studio on Cape Town TV. As always, I'm your host for today's show, and we mentioned earlier on, it is Women's Month, and it's all about women empowerment here in studio. I've got two lovely women here with me from two different organizations working together for a special and unique initiative. So just to continue on our conversation, we spoke about the campaign, okay, She Conquers, which is a firm and powerful name to give a campaign. It really shows what you are all about. There we go. It shows what you're all about. So just for those that's watching right now, that's wondering, has this started already or when is it starting? Can you just give us a bit of insight?
Okay, so the campaign is a 3-year campaign.
Yeah.
So it has started. It's been happening for quite a while. It's partnered with the various NGOs or NPOs. So you've got us as Soul City and Love Life as well.
Okay. And
It started 2016. We just had our last flash mob in July.
it wasn't violent.
No, it wasn't violent. You know, when we make noise, it's never violent.
Yeah.
So we had our last flash mob, you know, but the campaign continues. We also have youth clubs that are registered under the She Conquers campaign. And in those youth clubs, we don't only have females, we have males and females as well. And we also have teams that are registered in schools. Also, when you get into a classroom, we don't say females that side, males that side, and we deal with females only. It's just a mixture of everything. Like I said, it involves all the young people because we are all affected in a way by all these social ills that we outlined and mentioned. So it already started and it continues. And with all the campaigns that we have, because we've had quite a lot of campaigns before, they don't fade after that period that was set. So for this one, it was that 3 years, and that 3 years coming to an end in July, and so the campaign continues on its own through the activities and the programs that we are doing at schools. Also, we have what we call Be Wise, which is also introduced by the department. That is where now, if you have questions that you would like to ask and you don't want to interact with Pam, you don't want to interact with me, you don't want to see anyone physically because maybe you feel you might be charged, you're able to, you know, put on that question, send it through, and a doctor will respond to you. Also, we travel a lot, you know, go to the Eastern Cape, holiday times, December, you know. So if you find yourself traveling quite a lot and you need a health facility that is nearby, you're also able to log onto that website and find a facility that is nearby. It doesn't matter anywhere in the province. You're able to, find it and locate it and get the access that you want. Yeah, and it's all part of that, initiative.
Okay. So you say the campaign is going to be running now for 3 years, and it's a continuation of what has happened before.
Yes.
So what do you expect within these 3 months? What are your goals with the 3 years? Sorry, as the months progresses, where do you see this thing moving to?
Well, its intent has always been to see to it that we reduce the number of young women that are getting infected with HIV, as well as teen pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that is the intended impact that we want to do or have.
And you mentioned the website that you can have access to wherever you are.
Yes.
Can you just give us that website?
It's www.bewisehealth.com.
Bwise.
Yes, health.
Bwisehealth.com.
Yes.
So it's www.bwisehealth.com.
Yes.
Okay, I should remember that. So you say the boys or the men are getting involved. You
Yes.
are getting support from them.
Yes.
But there is still a plea for more to come on board.
To be involved,
Yeah, because like you mentioned, there are more females within these clinics than there are males.
Yes.
And why do you think that is?
I think it's because young women are more vulnerable, as she had mentioned it before, more vulnerable, and we deal with a lot.
Yeah.
We deal with a lot, and that's why that these organizations are there to kind of help aid that. And just to touch on the male factor, like I mentioned earlier on, we have a Soul Buddies program. So that Soul Buddies program looks at both young women and boys, which is more at primary school level, between the ages of 7 to 14. So we do have such programs that are also engaging the young boys. One of the new programs that is not yet in Cape Town is a boys mentoring program, so which is in our other provinces as well. So Soul City is going out there and involving the guys and having them be part of the conversation.
Okay, so where is the campaign currently happening?
Sorry?
Where is the campaign currently happening?
It's happening in Mpumalanga, Eastern Cape as well. So it's just fresh.
Yeah.
So yes,
But you're
start
getting
of the
there.
implementation, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also have a very fresh males campaign. I think about 2 weeks ago, the CEO sent us a message to say, can we please have a name? So everyone in South Africa has been given an opportunity to name this new campaign. So it's fresh, it doesn't have a name yet, and we're hoping by the end of this month we will have a name for that campaign as well, so that we are able, to bring these young men in. And also with the social norms, man, it's always been the case that, a female is more patient, a female does this. And so it is always expected by these young men that because you're more patient, you'll be able to wait in the line at the clinic. So you go take your contraceptives. Even when they have STIs, they don't find that out themselves. It's through, the female partner say, I just went to the clinic and I found out and they gave me this referral letter. You should also go. And, we're trying to make the clinics youth friendly. Young people should know that you don't go to the clinic when you are sick. Go to the clinic for information, and that will prevent you from getting sick, because you will know that I should be using a condom, I should be doing ABCD, because you have that information, you are more informed. But now we make use of clinics only when we feel ill, which is what we're trying to take away from young people. We say, come to this facility only just for questions. Come to this facility because you want to dance. Come to this facility because you want to, play pool table and all these things. Don't only come to the facility when you are not well, so that you are more informed. The response is there. It's not how we would like it to be, but things, it takes time, because it has been a culture that you only go there when you're sick. So, taking that away, it takes quite some time for them to adapt to the new norms that we're trying to
Wow, and
enforce.
that's a good, a valid or good point you made. Making clinics youth friendly, that you don't only go there when you're sick, but you can go there for information.
Yes. Other facilities have what we call a chill room. That's solely dedicated to young people. Chill room.
Oh, chill room.
Chill room.
Okay.
When you go to the clinic, this is where I go. You chill, you do whatever, relevant people. And other facilities, unfortunately, they don't have that. But now the department said, let's introduce what we call youth zones.
Okay.
You know, it's a set time that is there only for young people, where we know if you're saying from 1 o'clock up until 3 o'clock, we are only servicing these people. You know, so even if you go to a CHC, it's no longer the normal CHC where you form a line and you sit with the grannies, you know, on this side there's a baby crying and whatnot. No, there's a specially allocated time and special allocated place where, you know, that's where I chill and wait for the service to be rendered, you know. So, yeah.
So just quickly before we wrap up, how do we get involved and how do we get a hold of you?
Okay, so our programs are based in schools.
Yeah.
With Soul City, we're focusing on the Metro East District. So there were 10 schools that were selected, high schools, and 10 primary schools. So we work within those schools. We work very closely with the Department of Education, who's helped us get access in order to get the young women. Because remember, we can't just come and do whatever, because these are very young and vulnerable individuals, so we obviously need that permission. So that's where you can get that.
All right. So yeah.
For volunteers as well, we have a Mpinchi program. So with all the groundbreakers that are placed around the communities, you can go to a Tusong center, to a school, wherever you see a groundbreaker, they will register you and you'll automatically be enrolled, and then after that we'll be giving you a training as well so that you know how to implement.
Wow, thank you. That was a lot of information. It was a lot of good information. So we've come to the end of the show, unfortunately, but ladies, thank you so much for coming through, giving up of your time to come and give us all this information. And for those that's watching at home, Women Empowerment, She Conquers campaign is what today's conversation was all about. So if you want to learn more about them, go and check out the website and the social media platforms. Also make use of the number to get as much information as you can. So for now, guys, we're going to say goodbye. My name is Danny Campbell. Till next time. Bye-bye.